everyone, my name is Lisa Tiggis, and I am one of the registered dietitians and wellness consultants on the MyWay to Health team. Today, I want to talk to you about produce storage. I just did a really big grocery shopping trip, and now it's time for me to decide how I'm going to store all this beautiful produce. So I know that many of us these days are trying to grocery shop less frequently, so that might mean that we're buying more bulk all at once. So I hope that these few tips will help you get the most shelf life out of your fresh produce. So for starters, we'll start over here. I've got this awesome watermelon and a nice big pineapple as well. These both are going to sit on the counter for a couple of days. If you have room in your refrigerator, great. You can go ahead and put them in. That is just fine. But I don't have space for these guys right now. So they're going to do okay on the counter. And when I do cut them up, I'm actually going to only cut half of my watermelon. And the reason for that is that once you start chopping it up, all those cell walls are going to start to break down, the juices are going to run out, and that's just going to speed up the ripening process. So when I get to the point, I'm just going to cut it in half, saran wrap the other half for tin foil, put it in the refrigerator, and then move forward with dicing up the rest of my watermelon. Same thing with my pineapple. So do less chopping up front if you can. Other things that are okay to sit out on the counter would be your whole fruits like apples and oranges. They absolutely will last longer if you can get them into the refrigerator, especially in one of the produce stores that has humidity controls. So I would recommend that once you have space for it. Bananas should always be out on the counter. Now, if they accidentally get put in the refrigerator, it's no big deal. You might notice that their skins are going to turn brown, not that overripe kind of spotty brown, but the fruit on the inside is going to be totally fine. So we are going to leave those out, and then my tip to make these last longer, because I like them when they're just a little yellowy green, is to take some saran wrap. So in a few minutes here, I'm just going to take some saran wrap, and I'm just going to wrap up the top of the sponge. And the reason for that is because there is gas called ethylene, and that's a common word that I'm going to use in our conversation today. Ethylene is released from this, which speeds up the ripening process. So if I'm able to trap that, it's actually going to make my bananas stay fresher for a lot longer. So the whole idea of ethylene, you might have heard of putting certain fruits into a brown paper bag to speed up ripening. And that is because those are fruits that release this gas called ethylene. So if you're putting something like a mango, peach, plum, or my avocado into this brown paper bag and seal it up, we're creating a chamber in here in which to keep all of the gas. So it's going to speed up ripening. The same thing holds true. If I don't want to eat my avocado for a couple of days yet, then I shouldn't put it in the brown paper bag yet, because I don't need to speed up that ripening process. The other thing you can do is you can take off one of these bananas, especially if it's pretty ripe at this point, really dark yellow, maybe some brown spots. That's going to really release a lot of ethylene. So I can put one of those in my brown paper bag with my unripe fruits like avocados or any of those other stone fruits that I mentioned, and that's going to really speed up that process. So there are many fruits and vegetables that release ethylene, but there's also some that are very sensitive. And so we're going to talk about a few of those, and I'm going to include a link below to some more information. And tomatoes are actually one of those. So I would not keep my tomatoes next to very ripe bananas because these are going to spoil quicker. The other thing to note is that it's actually recommended to store tomatoes, both large tomatoes and cherry tomatoes, out on the countertop. They can get kind of mealy and mushy if we keep them in the refrigerator. I also don't recommend washing them until you're ready to use them. If you've ever picked up a tomato and I can feel that there's kind of this dusty powder on it, that's something called bloom, and that is naturally producing by the plant to keep it fresh while it's out on the vine. So it is not to your advantage to wash that off, because then we're losing nature's protection. The other place that we might see bloom is on grapes and some types of berries, like blueberries, raspberries, blackberries. You might see that white powdery. So I don't recommend washing those berries until you're ready to eat them. Now, in the case of strawberries, unfortunately, I can already see that there's one or two in here that are starting to look past their prime, a little mushy. And so a great tip for strawberries specifically, and you might have some good luck with other berries too, is actually doing a little bit of a vinegar rinse. So what I would do is I would put these into a colander, and I would make a solution of 1 cup of water and, 1 cup of vinegar, 3 cups of water, and I would just gently pour that over these strawberries. And then give them a good rinse in cold water just to wash up any of that acidic solution. And what's happening there is it is killing off any mold or bacteria spores that would be causing our berries to spoil too quickly. If you don't have vinegar available to you, another option would be doing a quick hot water dunk with these. So sending them into the hot tub real quick. We'd want a temperature of about 120 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit in your bowl of water. I would go ahead and give them a quick rinse first just to take off any debris and dirt, and then submerge them for about 30 seconds, very, very quick, and then quickly rinse them in cold water to stop that process. Again, the goal there is that we're basically cooking off any of that bacteria or mold spores that are on the outside, and this is really going to help extend the shelf life of your berries. So if you can have just a couple of extra minutes, that's a really great tip to make them stay longer. Talking about our salad greens, I've got a nice pre-shredded triple washed kale here, so I don't need to worry about washing that any further. But as I do notice here that there's a lot of condensation in the bag, and that's a really common complaint with a lot of these pre-washed greens is that they can gather a lot of condensation, and then that can cause them to spoil quicker. So paper towels are my favorite trick when it comes to extending shelf life of my produce. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to tuck a few pieces, one in the front and then one in the back here. And basically this is acting as a sponge. We want to keep the moisture wicked away from the produce. Otherwise it's going to start to wilt and get a little floppy. I just am going to change those out every couple of days if they seem to be saturated and like they're not taking up any more water. And they're kind of clean towels too, so I might use that just to give the counter a quick wipe down if you're concerned about being wasteful. For my romaine, this has not been washed, so I'm going to use my salad spinner here. And what I like to do is I like to go ahead and tear off the base. And what that's going to do is just give me the leaves. And I'm just going to run those through my salad spinner here after giving them a rinse. And then I like to just leave them whole until I need it. Again, it's the same idea as my watermelon, that the more I chop this up in advance, it is going to spoil a little bit quicker. So I just like to give myself that option of cutting it, or better yet, tearing the leaves in advance. That's going to help keep the cell walls intact and prevent some of that bruising that you might see by cutting. I know we've been talking about keeping the moisture away, and that works well. You can do this paper towel trick with your berries after you put them through that rinse cycle. You can line your bowl with paper towels, same thing with grapes, and change those out every few days. Again, we want to keep the water away. But on the flip side, something like carrots or celery, we want them to stay very moist. Otherwise, your carrots, if they are exposed to oxygen too much, they might start to get a little bit flaccid, so kind of limp, and also get some white around there. So if you see that to happen, no problem. Just go ahead and give them a little water bath. I would take a container, pour in some water, and they're going to perk right up. You can store them in that. You might even see in the pre-cut section of your produce department a nice combination of celery and carrot sticks already stored in that tub of water, and that's why. So these are the guys that we want to use osmosis to pull the water in. When it comes to grocery shopping these days, not only am I thinking about what I'm going to eat produce-wise for the next couple of days, but I'd like to avoid going back to the grocery store as long as possible. So I also consider what are some of my fresh produce that's going to stay longer. So I've been doing a lot in the way of cabbage. And again, the celery, the carrots, those are going to last me a lot longer compared to something like strawberries that might only last a couple of days. So I like to keep that cabbage stored whole. Again, it's just going to protect it from further degradation. So I like to do that. Lots of other root vegetables are great, like parsnips and beets, doing lots of beets these days. And of course, potatoes and onions are a staple. So sweet potatoes, regular potatoes, and your onions, you want to keep those in a cool, dry place. You've got a spot in your basement and it's not too humid, great, you can keep those down there. We just don't want them in direct wave sunlight or next to a stove or anything that's going to produce a lot of heat or moisture. Even though we want to keep them in similar environments, we actually want to keep them separate, which is why I usually have two different containers, one for my onions and one for the potatoes. This is due in part to the whole ethylene gas exchange and also because potatoes naturally release a lot of moisture and so they can cause your onions to expire too quickly. So I hope that this helps give a little bit of insight as to some good produce storage tips. Of course, we also want to remember to include our frozen veggies and our canned vegetables in our approach to including lots of produce. They're still really valuable options for getting our vitamins and minerals in. So if you have any further questions, please reach out to MyWay wellness consultant. We are here offering our regular wellness consultations over the phone and through telehealth on Zoom. So we'd be happy to talk to you about any other nutrition or cooking questions you might have. Thanks.